Hello everybody, my name is Solo. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going up to the lab because the testificates have told me that they have found somebody who has made research to turn mobs into mob farms in a more efficient manner than actually going out and farming certain drops from mobs. So we're going to be going upstairs here in just a second, but I wanted to show you guys around my room. We have, of course, our little mini Solo here in the tank. He's just roaming around like every axolotl does. We of course have the books that have been keeping me busy because unfortunately we don't really get any good reception currently, as this place is still technically being built. I've also been told that they have left 2 keys for me in the nightstand here, and that is the elevator key and lab 1 key. Now, from what I know, there is an elevator here at the end of the hallway. If you guys missed the news video where I talked about the channel, this is the room that I was actively in. Here's all the setup. Here is like the chair and everything you guys saw me in. So yeah, that is the room. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the elevator. And here we are, and I guess I'm just gonna press the lab button and up we go. And here we are. Now it lets me open this because I do have the elevator key, as you can see. Requires the elevator key, and this requires the lab 1 key, as you can clearly see. Yeah, it's a bit weird. The key system's a bit weird. Here is Bill. He is our head of construction. Unfortunately, they are still constructing the rest of the lab, so unfortunately we can't go down that way yet. But in here we have our testing area, and as you can see, we have it all set up today to take a look at this new mod. Now, the new mod being looked at today is Easy Mob Farms. Now, this is brought to us by Kaworu. I hope I pronounced that right. And this is your base recipe for our beginner, like, outside model here. This is a tier 1, and as you can see, if I click it off here it is, the tier 1, aka tier 0. And if we do at mob here, you can see there's a lot to this mod, so we're going to be here for a second. But this is the crafting recipe for the tier 0, and any other tier we have crafting recipes right here. As you can see, you have the tier 0 go to tier 1, you have the tier 1 go to tier 2, tier 2 to tier 3. And here at the end we have a showcase of all the tier 3 mob farms that you can put down, and we'll go to each one of them in order from, well, what you can get. So firstly, we have the bee hive farm, which is this, where you can go ahead and put a bee in here and it will collect honey bottles, or if you have different upgrades in it, like the honey harvester, which is made like that, or the honey extractor, which is made like that, it immediately will bottle honey and do everything for you. It also has an experience enhancement and speed enhancement and a flowers filter, so then we're not, you know, getting flowers here, right? Then there's of course the chicken one. There is a husk one, which has a bottle O enchanting in it due to the experience enhancement. There's a fox one, which has an experience enhancement. Now, it doesn't have anything dropping because, well, this is an iron golem farm and not a fox farm, so I don't know how that ended up getting in there, but we will be replacing that one actually here shortly. We have a frog farm. Now, this one does require something else in here. We just haven't actually put it in quite yet. We have this farm, which has generated a lot of stuff. This is our lucky drop farm, which if you take a look here, it says, warning, mob may escape on unlucky drop, or requires a sword enhancement for loot. So as you can see, we've gotten some loot already, but I'm guessing there's better stuff to get, so that's pretty cool. We have enderman in here. which has also given Bottle O enchanting. You have your Wither Skeleton in here, which also has some bottles. And then we finally have the Guardian in here. And as you can see, it still also requires some sort of upgrade. Now, if we look in here, we do have the upgrades available to all of these, as you can see. Now, some of them I did forget to actually get in there because I had to put them in other things like this. And so the testificates didn't really have much. They actually have these, which we'll be looking at here in a second. But as you can see, a lot of these are made very simply with like iron ingots, honey bottles, stuff like that. Speed enhancements with redstone repeaters and nether quartz. The experience enhancements with nether quartz and lapis. And yeah, so a lot of these have different things like the milk extractors for cows. No meat filter is going to be your animals, whether it be chicken, sheep, cows, whatever have you that drops meat. Sheep enhancement literally shears sheep as long as you have a sheep in there. There's also a luck enhancement, which is just nether quartz and emeralds, gets you better drops. Honey extractor, we already saw that. Experience enhancement, which gets you, bottles of enchantment instead of just experience orbs. Egg collector, we can actually go ahead, and since we already have chicken one, we can put the egg collector in here, so then whenever it actually does go through, we have chances of getting eggs as well. And then here is where we get the frogs. So the temperate frog catalyst, we can walk down here and put in this one, because that's how we get a frog light from this frog card, right? And of course a chance, but it's still very much a thing that you can try to do. There's of course honey harvester. There is a big slot upgrade which expands the mob storage capacity in a farm by quite a bit, and that is just a chest, some gold, and some iron. Pretty easy. And then the loot enhancement is nether quartz, 1 emerald, and 3 gold. So yeah, pretty actually simple way of doing this. Now let's go ahead and put these sword enhancements in here, which is just an iron sword and nether quartz. And that's going to get us the enhancement for farming like stuff like husks, farming stuff like zombie piglins, farming stuff like endermen, and wither skeletons, and of course our guardians here. It just helps. It technifies the kill as a player kill, so it's gonna get even more loot just based on that, right? So that's the majority of how these work. Now, if you ever want to see how many cards there are in the game, you just type in @mob. And it'll show you there is a ton of cards in here. There's different rarities, different things that can happen. For example, with slimes, you can actually get different variants of what slime is in there. For example, you can have tiny, you can have medium, you can have big, and these do drop from killing mobs. So that is another benefit from this as well. Now, if we come over here, we have our specimens that we're going to be actually testing on to see if this works. It looks like one of them got out, unfortunately. This was supposed to be a zombie, but unfortunately it's not here. And we do have an iron golem who's a bit bigger and also can go into that one that we had a fox in. So if we take a look at this recipe, this is a recipe for what is known as an enduring capture net. And if you read, it tells you target mob and right click to capture. Maximum mob size is 0.9 times 1.4. And then the minimum mob health to capture is 50%. And then the other ones are in here. This is the iron bound containment gauge, which is a 1.5 to 2.0, and you need 25% to capture a mob. This is the mystic binding crystal, which requires an ender pearl, 2 ghast tears, a lead, and nether quartz. 3.0 times 4.0 which is a 25% health to capture, and of course 32 uses. And then finally the last one, which is the Void Chain, which requires an Eye of Ender, 2 chains, netherite scrap, and a lead, which has a 4.0 and times 6.0, and minimum mob health to capture is 20%. So yeah, we'll go ahead and grab those. And if you go ahead and I open up here, says, oh, the mob chicken is too strong to capture, try weakening it first. So what we're gonna do is, since we need it to be weakened first, I'm just gonna hit it, right? We're gonna keep hitting it, and then boom, there we go. So we have caught the chicken, right? Then it says right click on an empty place to release. Now for some reason it's not working, and maybe they just need to do some bug fixes here, but yeah, it's very weird to say the least. I think we can maybe put it in here, as you can see, and that will work as well. But you can also get a card to do it better by just actually capturing it, by just slaying a bunch of chickens. But yeah, so that has a chicken in it now. Now if you excuse me for just a moment, I'm gonna go fetch a sword. All right, so we have grabbed a sword. I've also grabbed some armor because we do have to go up against an iron golem here at the end. So if we go in here and we try to capture any of these, right, we'll say it's too strong to be captured. So we're gonna go ahead and do some damage here, and bam. Oh, never mind, I haven't done enough damage yet. There we go. So now we have a cow in a thing here, and if we go ahead and take some like the chicken out and put the cow in there, it'll start going. I do like the little images of the actual, like the bee and the cow and everything. That actually works really well. And as you can see, bonus drop is leather, and it's working pretty well. Anyway, we're gonna put the chicken back. So now that has a cow in it, as you can clearly tell, because it's enchanted basically. Now here comes the big one. Now this guy I'm gonna provoke from beyond the barricade here, because as you can see, he can do quite a bit of damage, right? And I don't want to die here, so I need to grab some food as well. But if we go ahead and do some damage, we can try to weaken him enough that we can grab him in this like void thing here. You have to do quite a bit of damage to get him in the void thing. So I'm just gonna keep doing it until I can fit him in the void thing. There we go. Okay, so we got him in the void thing, as you can see. Has remaining uses, so you can just spam it like I did. I would be very careful doing that. But now that we have him, we can put him here, which is where the iron golem would go. Now, as you can see, he is very cracked. That's because we had to do damage to him to capture him. Now, there is an iron golem card, as you can see. If I type in iron golem, there is a way to get it, but you'd probably have to slay quite a few of these. And as you can see, it's gonna take a little bit of time to actually get his drops there. Anyway, let's move on to the piece de resistance, which is going to be our creative mob farms here. Now, these are only available via outside means. You cannot get these in game because, of course, there's no way to get creative items unless you're the testificates and can pull stuff out of space-time and do whatever you want with them. So yeah, here we go. We have two different ones, fully upgraded and fully realized here, and we have a bunch of stuff down here to mess around with. So let's see what drops we get from something like an Elder Guardian, right? When you have all of these enhancements on here, or what do we get from an Ender Dragon, which can actually be put in one of these if you get lucky enough. Now mind you, you have to get lucky enough to get the Ender Dragon card from slaying an Ender Dragon, but there you go. That's all the stuff you can get from an Elder Guardian, including wet sponges. And here's what you can get from the Ender Dragon. Well, bam, you get Dragon's Breath. I'm surprised that you can't get enough like experience, because apparently it doesn't drop any, but that's what you get from the Ender Dragon. There is an armor stand. I have no idea what armor stands drop. It's like a meme in the mod. Let me just show you guys this armor stand. So if I type in armor stand, there's a basic one, an uncommon, a rare, and an epic. And I don't know if it's just like a test one or something like that, but you can farm it, which is just funny to me. Anyway, out this goes. We're gonna farm a wither here, and then just in case there was an actual drop, which there is not, we're gonna take the armor stand out, and we're gonna put a warden in there. That's right, you can get a warden in there. That's wild. And the warden takes about 22 seconds. As you can see, the wither can give you can get up to like 2 nether stars if you have loot enhancement and sword enhancement, right? Now apparently the wither does give 50 experience, but we haven't had it drop into bottles yet. But yeah, you can get lucky enough to get 2 wither stars in one. Of course, this guy can drop Skulk, but I believe there's a few other things he can drop. Let's go ahead and pull out the wither and put in something like a wither skeleton, which does have sword enhancement loot, so we'll see what that does. And we'll pull out the warden and put in the illusioner, this guy. We'll see what that gives us as well. So this gave us coal, but I'm guessing you can also maybe get a wither skeleton skull if you get lucky enough, because of the whole player drop stuff, but I'm not too sure on that front whether or not it actually does. From these guys you can get redstone and emeralds, and yeah, that's definitely pretty nice to say the least. This is definitely a cool thing that the testificate here, Greg, who is our main researcher, who keeps bringing this stuff into the lab and actually setting all the stuff up, he has brought these two here just to kind of show what you can get. I mean, look, you even got a flame bow from that guy. Got some bottles of enchanting. But yeah, we're going to take the rest of these out. And that has been the mod showcase of Easy Mob Farm. Now, this mod is pretty cool. I will say that when you get even the tier 3s, they are a bit slow to actually go. If you look at these, a lot of these take about 230 seconds to drop, which if you guys don't know, that's like a few minutes to drop. So these are things that you set up, leave, and then you wait for them to do something, right? I think that's a lot better. We got another catalyst apparently, but yeah, that's a lot better than just, you know, farming them individually. But anyway, we're gonna end this test here, and if you guys did like this mod showcase, let me know down in the comments below, and by hitting that like button, it's much appreciated. It puts me in the algorithm, and I do enjoy doing these. But without further ado, don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so then you guys never miss any mod showcases. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day, stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.